Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thomas Reacts. Today it's Monday. I hope you guys are feeling amazing. I hope you are safe. I hope your children are safe. And I hope your family is safe, man. I'm not saying all of these things simply because it is nice to say these things, man. I'm saying them because we live in one of the most dangerous countries in the world. You know, ever since I started doing the street interviews, speaking with the people on the streets, if there's one thing I've realized after speaking with people from different backgrounds is that South Africans are feeling unsafe at this very moment. I remember a lady saying, Thomas, I cannot even go to town without thinking something might actually happen to me. I am even scared to go to the shop, man. Every day children are being abducted in South Africa. You go online, you go on social media, you will see a new picture telling you a new child was abducted in South Africa, man. Even men are targets right now in South Africa, man. I remember here in the Free State we have the mines, and some of these people, man, who work at the mines, you know, they go at work at odd hours, they come back at work at odd hours. So criminals actually understand this, and these people, man, they have been targeted, and there is nothing that has been done to actually fight crime in this country, man. You know, as I step back and watch everything, and I'm like, geez, in South Africa, all of these terrible things that are happening under a black democratic elected government. So when you see the comrades spending the money that was supposed to build the toilets, and now children are dying in pit toilets, these things are happening under a black democratic elected government. When you see the comrades spending the money that was supposed to build the water treatment system, and now people are dying because of cholera, all these things are happening under a black democratic elected government. And the same government, it is so obsessed with apartheid and telling the people of this country how bad apartheid was. So you would think these people would actually say, guys, our people were being oppressed in apartheid. Our people were being suffocated in apartheid. So we cannot allow criminality and criminals to run amok in this country. We cannot allow our people to suffer anymore. So we are not going to condone criminality. We are not going to be lenient on the criminals. But unfortunately, this is not what people are doing. So what really actually made me really furious, it is the fact that most of the people, man, that are complaining about how bad things are in South Africa, how unsafe South Africa is, the fact that South Africans, especially the poor black people in this country right now, their communities, they are filled with the sewages. Their communities have turned into illegal dumping cement. And most of these people who are complaining about these things is that they continue to vote for the same people who are making their lives a living hell. So it is a very vicious cycle and a very frustrating cycle. And you are like, geez, man, if you guys feel so, you hate these people who are running the country so much, why do you keep voting these people into power, man? That is something that I'm still waiting to see if South Africans one day will be like, man, we've had enough. Enough is enough, man. We can't stand it anymore. Our children are sitting at home. They are not working. These people, they have degrees, they have diplomas. They are sitting at home. They cannot do anything, man. Enough is enough, man. We are waiting to see that time where South Africans would actually say, guys, this is enough, man. Over the weekend, a lot of stuff actually happened. So today we are going to do a lot of catch-ups. I have a lot of thoughts about the things that actually happened in South Africa and some of these stories that actually shook South Africa over the weekend. So I'm going to start with the story of Niehaus, because Niehaus recently went to the EFF podcast to talk about various issues, but some of the things that Niehaus said on this interview, man, really caught people's attention. And I'm going to react to one video on some of the things that Niehaus said. I'm going to react to this video of Niehaus actually explaining to South Africans why he didn't join Jacob Zuma and the MK party, man. It was a very interesting explanation. Guys, if you haven't watched the interview, please make sure that you go to the EFF podcast and watch the whole interview. I know some of you might be like, geez, I'm not going to waste 1 hour of my time watching Niehaus. But for those who are interested, you might as well actually go and actually watch this whole interview of Niehaus talking and lambasting the African National Congress. So guys, this is what Niehaus said about MK and Jacob Zuma and the reason why he won't join the MK party.
And I, as an older person, must admit that we have made mistakes. Although I fought against the selling out process in the African National Congress. Although I sometimes stood like my finger alone outside Nazareth and other meetings of the National Executive of the ANC calling for Ramaphosa and others to go. I must also acknowledge that I've been part of the mistakes in the ANC.
Sure. And again, man, you know, if there's one thing about Niehaus, is that I feel, this is my personal opinion, man. I'm not saying this is a fact, this is simply my personal opinion. I'm feeling like Karl Niehaus has developed resentment towards the comrades within the African National Congress, most especially the comrades who are in the faction of radical economic transformation. You know, ANC, there's two parties basically. There's a party of Ramaphosa and this faction of radical economic transformation. And Karl Niehaus was a very outspoken member of this faction of the radical economic transformation. Man, Karl Niehaus put his hand on the chopping block for Jacob Zuma. This man basically sacrificed anything. He sacrificed all the benefits that he was getting as an ANC cadre and as an ANC veteran. He sacrificed all of that simply because he was fighting for Jacob Zuma, and he wanted the African National Congress not to take the direction that Ramaphosa is taking the party right now. So the African National Congress basically kicked Karl Niehaus out. They kicked him out in the cold. So Karl Niehaus, he opened up his own political party. And I assume that Karl Niehaus thought that some of these members in the function of African National Congress in the radical economic transformation are actually going to say, man, we're going to jump ship and join Karl Niehaus, because Karl Niehaus, man, has just opened something that we can actually relate to. But the same comrades were like, no, we're going to stick with African National Congress, man. We hate the party, we hate the direction that Ramaphosa is taking the party, but we are going to stick with African National Congress because we are benefiting from the African National Congress, man. Your party is still new. There's nothing that we're going to benefit. You don't have the seats in parliament. You don't have any power, so there's no need for the people to come and join you. So Karl Niehaus, I feel like he has developed a resentment towards the comrades, especially in the function of radical economic transformation. And the other comrade that Karl Niehaus, man, he won't admit, but Karl Niehaus has also developed resentment towards Jacob Zuma. Karl Niehaus, as much as he will always have respect for Jacob Zuma, he will always talk highly of Jacob Zuma, but he has also developed resentment for Jacob Zuma, because after the African National Congress kicked him out, after he started his new political party, man, he begged Jacob Zuma to back up his own political party, man. He begged Jacob Zuma to come and join him in the African Radical Economic Transformation movement. But Jacob Zuma didn't do that. Instead, Jacob Zuma went and concocted this thing now that is called the MK party. So Karl Niehaus is looking at this thing like, geez, man, these people, man, are opening up their own political party. I put my head on the chopping block defending these people, man. Now I'm kicked out in the cold, and these people, man, are pushing for a new party. Jacob Zuma is pushing for a new party. Some of the members in the African National Congress in the radical economic transformation, man, there have been reports that some of these people are going to jump and now join the MK party, man. Karl Niehaus actually thought all of these things were going to happen for his party, African Radical Economic Transformation, but that's not how it happened. So in my own opinion, I think Karl Niehaus actually joining the EFF, he was like, man, I'm done with all of you guys. I put my head on the chopping block. The African National Congress kicked me out. I opened a new political party, and you did not join me in my own political party, man. You see, even Isma Khashule has his own political party. Jacob Zuma is running for his own political party. So when you really look at the things, so you're like, geez, so which means that the unity amongst these people was only strong within the African National Congress. But as soon as these people steps out of the African National Congress, everyone wants to be the leader. So I think they also had factions within the faction. So this radical economic transformation, it also had a faction, because now these people are opening up their own political party. You can see right now they are trying to align. Karl Niehaus has joined the EFF. Even right now there are reports that Isma Khashule, remember Isma Khashule on Friday, he has announced that he is actually going to work with Jacob Zuma going forward. So these people are simply trying to align, because once they stepped out of the ANC, everyone wanted to be a leader. And I think one person who feels like, man, I've taken more hits, it has to be Karl Niehaus. It has to be Karl Niehaus, man. The Karl Niehaus, man, the hate that he got from the African National Congress, the treatment that he got from the African National Congress simply for standing for Jacob Zuma. The man was basically kicked out of the party. And the same people who was advocating for did not back him when he opened up his own political party, man. And I think this is one of the reasons why Karl Niehaus, man, simply went to the EFF and be like, geez, man, maybe I can put some of the things that I don't agree with the EFF on the side. So it's fine. I'm going to join, and we're going to fight this whole thing of Ramaphosa and the wide monopoly capital, because within the African National Congress, the same comrades, man, they've turned their backs on me, man. They're still benefiting from the African National Congress. This is my opinion. I'm not saying it is a fact.
And I cannot come and claim leadership to the future. Mm-hmm. What I can do now is to be there to assist, to support the empowerment of young, strong leaders. Mm-hmm. And those I find in the economic freedom fighters.
Yes.
So at the end of all of that discussion with President Zuma, I said, Baba, I'm making a very clear, deliberate, unequivocal decision. I'm not going to join the MK party. I've made up my mind I'm joining the Economic Freedom Fighters.
And what did you say?
The EFF is the future. And I want to be part of the future.
Yeah.
What a nice way of actually telling Jacob Zuma that, man, there's nothing that you're going to offer to South Africans. You don't inspire any confidence. South Africans, man, know your track history. South Africans know that you were the president of the country. And basically, there's nothing that you're going to offer to South Africa. This is exactly what we've been saying all along. That there's nothing new that Jacob Zuma can actually offer to the people of this country. That's why right now he's running around with this whole MK thing, and people are actually supporting MK. And people, when we say, guys, how can you support MK? They think we are fools for simply saying that. But the party has never released a leadership structure. They don't even know who is the president of the party. They don't know who is the deputy president of the party. They don't even know what the party stands for, because the party hasn't released anything. Jacob Zuma is going around. The only thing that he's doing is talking about how bad the African National Congress is. He's not telling people, guys, this is what actually MK wants to do. So this is what Niehaus is telling the people, that, man, Jacob Zuma does not have any plans or any intentions of actually moving this country forward. Jacob Zuma is fighting for all of these things simply because of his battles within the African National Congress. It has nothing to do with actually taking this country forward. That's why he's saying there is no future. I'm running with the EFF because the EFF is the future and I want to be the part of the future. That is the very nice way of actually telling Jacob Zuma that, man, whatever that you are doing, man, I don't think it is going to benefit South Africans in the long run. I know people might actually not like this move of me going to the EFF. I know some people are going to criticize me and say that, man, come on. You know, even right now, people hate the EFF, people hate the ANC. Like, you know, this is South Africa. Political parties are hated by a lot of people. So even when these people are making these moves, they understand that these moves are going to come with a lot of hate. They're going to come with a lot of rumors and they understand all of that. But he still made that decision to go and join the EFF because he actually believes that, okay, the EFF can actually play a significant role in the future of this country. And I want to be a part of that. So he's telling the people that, Jacob Zuma, man, whatever that you are doing there's nothing that South Africans are going to benefit from you. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. Whether Niehaus joining the EFF or whether the EFF, it is the perfect vehicle for Niehaus to actually achieve this future or to be the part of this future that is talking about it. That is the debate of for another day. But Niehaus right now is telling the people of this country that, man, Jacob Zuma, there is nothing that you're going to offer to us. You can't offer us nothing. You can't offer us nothing. You are not talking about the future. You are not talking about how we can actually take this country forward. You are running around with a party that has no manifesto, no leadership structure, nothing. And people are simply supporting Jacob Zuma. And these people are calling us insane when we are laughing at them. And you're like, geez, man, how can you support a political party that actually has nothing? I mean, like, even Julius Malema stood there and, like, Jacob Zuma right now is advocating for non-existent things. Julius Malema said Jacob Zuma is running around the country advocating for non-existent things. Why didn't Jacob Zuma simply come to the EFF? I know that I'm a hypocrite. I know I'm a hypocrite. I ran after Zuma for almost 10 years, telling South Africans that Jacob Zuma is the most corrupt president. But now Jacob Zuma, it seems like, is out of the ANC. The same Julius Malema is calling Jacob Zuma to come and join the EFF. So you hated Jacob Zuma because he's corrupt, but you don't have a problem with Jacob Zuma actually coming to the EFF. But I understand even that interview Julius Malema said that, man, electoral politics, it is a game of numbers. Electoral politics, it is a game of numbers. So it is all about the numbers. It has nothing to do about the credibility. It has nothing to do about the fact that some people might appear as hypocrites. It has nothing to do. It has to do with the fact that Jacob Zuma has the numbers. He's advocating for non-existent things, and people are actually helping him in advocating for that non-existent things. So Niehaus was smart enough to say that, man, I cannot run around the country, man, and the only thing that I talk about is President Ramaphosa. How about I join a political party that actually wants to do something? How about I join a political party that is actually talking about taking some of the steps going forward? This is how we want the country to be like. Whether the EFF is the perfect vehicle, like I've already said, that is the debate for the other day. But this is what Niehaus is saying. This is what Niehaus is saying. So basically, Niehaus, man, I'm happy that he has actually confirmed what I've been talking about the whole time. He has actually confirmed about what I've been talking about the whole time. Jacob Zuma was the president of the country, man, for almost 10 years. For people to blindly follow him today when he talks about Ramaphosa, simply because people are upset with Ramaphosa, simply just because Ramaphosa is a terrible president, it doesn't mean that today Jacob Zuma is the best president. It doesn't mean that Jacob Zuma is the best president. We still have to hold Jacob Zuma accountable with his record. It doesn't mean that just because Ramaphosa is doing a terrible job, Jacob Zuma was now the perfect president. No, no. And Niehaus fully understands this. He fully understands this, man. So I can see right now these people are trying to align, even with Ismakhashule. Ismakhashule has already announced that he's going to work with the Jacob Zuma going forward. But one thing that people really need to understand with that thing of Ismakhashule and Jacob Zuma, man, these people can actually get a couple of seats in parliament. It doesn't matter how much you hate these people. People on the ground love them. People love them. These are the kind of politicians that South Africans love. You know, South Africans do not have any standard when it comes to politicians. You know, South Africans are looking up to low-class politicians. This is exactly what they love. So Jacob Zuma working with Ismakhashule, man, I'm telling you, these people might actually get a couple of seats in parliament. So South Africans, man, you must brace yourselves. You must brace yourselves. You must brace yourselves, man. You might as well. After 2024 elections, seeing Jacob Zuma and Ismakhashule, man, sitting side to side in parliament, opposing the African National Congress. The same cadres, man, sitting in parliament, pretending like there's something they can offer to South Africans, pretending like they were never the members of the African National Congress. Man, if you hear what Ismakhashule is talking about, if you hear what Ismakhashule is saying when he's talking about the African National Congress, man, you would swear that Ismakhashule was never the member of the African National Congress. You would swear. Ismakhashule is telling us that, man, even the roads in Sebokeng, they still have potholes. Yeah, they're privatizing Eskom, they're privatizing SAA. And I'm like, man, you fought tooth and nail to remain within the same party. Now that the party kicked you out, you are here telling us about how bad the party was. You wanted to be the part of the party. That's why you went to court. You wanted to stick within the African National Congress. That's why you went to court. If you hated the African National Congress so much because the ANC is making the lives of the people of this country a living miserable, you would have said, man, I resign from the African National Congress. I want nothing to do with these people, man. These people are actually not doing anything that is benefiting the people of this country. These people, instead, they are selling our SOEs, man. They are destroying our SOEs. They are offering us bad governance. They are offering us incompetent ministers. These are the things that Ismakhashule should have said if he wanted a bit of credibility. But South Africans don't care about credibility, man. They love the man. South Africans love the man, man. You look at the whole thing of Jacob Zuma, the fact that people are simply following Jacob Zuma because of him. They are following MK because of Jacob Zuma, not because of what MK plans to do, not because of the manifesto of the MK, not because of the values of MK. No, simply because of Jacob Zuma, and his hatred towards President Ramaphosa. And I'm like, geez, man, how gullible our people are. Our people are really willing to put another 5 years of their life, man. They are willing to vote for people, man, who are still going to turn their lives into misery. For the next 5 years, they still want to play identity politics. So, guys, it is very interesting what Niehaus has actually said. He said it in a very respectful manner, but I understand, man, Niehaus, it is straight up, man. Jacob Zuma, there's nothing he's going to offer to the people of this country. Guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.